Did you kill a Sikh? Okay, well, because if you did, you only, I can only give you this band-aid. If you didn't, I'll give you this band. No, he didn't do that. So those are the values that Sikhi brings. Those are the things that we need to be speaking about. Instead, what we've gotten ourselves caught up in is commercialized religion. We go to the Gurdwara, we find the Gyani, and we say, I'd like to pass my next test. Here's $51, please. Can you give the big guy a call and get this sorted for me? And I'll be right here. And if you can throw in a cunt bot, that'd be even better. And we'll come back on and, we'll pay up what's required. So, and we have in Harmandir Sahib today, you could call over there and you could, they'll hook you up with a pot on the phone. You can make an appointment, literally. So we're selling pot, we're selling Barney, we're selling Simran. I do keep them at people's homes, and folks have called me and said, we'd like you to come over and do Sukhmani Sahib. I said, no, I'm not coming over to do Sukhmani Sahib. Happy to come and do Sangat, happy to come and do Kirtan, happy to come and sit with all of you, and we'll do Simran together, but I'm not coming to do Sukhmani Sahib. You can do Sukhmani Sahib for the next 24 days, and when we come, we can celebrate that you've done Sukhmani Sahib for the last 24 days. And you all can sit but Baji, we don't know how to read Punjabi. Wonderful. They have it in English now too. Actually, they even have it in French and Spanish and Chinese and Japanese and Italian and whatever else language you want. And so Guruji's multilingual, he'll understand. She'll understand. So those are the kinds of things that and I could go on, my dears, and I know we don't have all day, but when you ask me the question, are there things that we need to do? Yeah, there's a ton that we need to do, and you are our future. You are the people that need to grab these issues by the horns, and we will stand with you. I will stand with you, and bring this forward. Because until we can speak about Sikhi in the way that Guru Nanak Dev Ji shared it with us, we are not practicing Sikhi. We're simply, tied to rituals. That's all that is. I hope I wasn't too harsh.
No, that was an amazing answer. Just kind of following along with that, what role do you think youth have in creating that awareness and creating more education and inspiring more people to get involved in, creating this?
Huge, 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 huge role. The youth are our future. The youth are more expansive and more in line with the thinking of Guru Nanak Dev Ji than any of us graybeards were. So you look at the teachings and you look at it from the perspective of this expansive view, not on how to make it small, but how to make it large, how to try to attach it to everything rather than, we still have places in India and gurdwaras in India that don't allow, folks from the lower caste to come in from the front door. They have to come in from the back door. Well, which part of that is Guru Nanak Dev Ji? So we don't even have the first part of Gurbani, which starts at Ik Oankar. Forget page 1430. That's a long way down. So we haven't even caught up to the first page, the first ang of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, who we bow to all the time. And we are caught up in, oh my God, did you wear your kirpan today? How long is your kirpan? What kind of kada is that? Really? Where did you take Amrit? Oh, I took Amrit here. My gosh. Those are not things that you can take Amrit 10 times, but if your action and behavior are not in keeping with what Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, then that Amrit is of no value. So youth have an incredible role to play here. You are going to be the benefactors of all that Guru Nanak Dev Ji left and what we are going to leave behind. You have the capacity and the power and the ability to think in this expansive way that at times is not available to many of us graybeards and older folks. You also have a world view, which is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji's view was. So, sorry, you don't get to sit this one out. You're on. You have to take this by the horns, and you absolutely need to advance many of the teachings and many of the principles of Sikhi.
So related to that, like a lot of the problems that we have in like the modern day, when you talk to the community, sometimes they get framed as like Western problems. Like, we wouldn't have those if we were in India. So like how do you respond to that? Because like a even when you're talking within family or like older generations, you'll like explain something, be like, no, no, no. But if we were back in Punjab, like that wouldn't exist. But the fact is, like, it all exists. You just don't see it, maybe.
Right. It does exist.
To that sort of critique of like us trying to talk about like the taboo things.
Yeah, yeah. The only taboo thing is the thing that we close our eyes and ears and mind to. That's taboo, and yet Guru Nanak Dev Ji embraced a murdering robber and cannibal, and brought him into his fold. So I don't know what's more taboo than having somebody that used to murder and rob and kill people then become part of your sangat, and someone that used to actually eat people to become part of your sangat. And to open his, sangat up to anybody and everybody. He didn't say, "Oh my God, no, no, hang on a second. You're of a smaller jat. You can't sit there." And so this is a cop out. Whenever we say, "Well, this doesn't happen in Punjab," actually, it happens everywhere. It happens all over the world. And what we are actually announcing at that point is our own prejudice, that we were so good at discrimination back in India that we actually got them to hide. They didn't even come out because we were so brutal. So when someone says that to me, I say, Paji, what you've done is you basically told me that you suppressed these people into a place where they did not have a voice. And isn't that what Guru Nanak Dev Ji came out to do, was to actually lift these people up because they didn't have a voice? All those that could not go and couldn't be touched, and women that were seen as second class citizens, if not slaves. Isn't that what Guru Nanak Dev Ji did, was lift these people who had no one, were unknown, were unnamed, were simply cast off? Didn't he lift them up? And what are we doing now? We're doing exactly what he changed and shifted. We've gone back to that. So now we suppress it. And when we say, ਨਹੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, well, that's exactly us saying, guess what? We've reversed everything that Guru Nanak Dev Ji did, and we've gone back to the good old days where these people don't have a voice anymore. Again, that's why we're not hearing about it. So it's sad.
Very much. Turning back to your fight to include the turban in your uniform, just a little bit of a different topic. Since you were such an instrumental player in the fight to allow religious attire into your workplace specifically, what's your opinion regarding Quebec Bill 21, since that like explicitly excludes religious symbols from the workplace?
Well, yeah, it's a thinly veiled racist bill, very discriminatory. The fact that they have to use the not with the holding clause is a testament to that, because it wouldn't stand the charter challenge. The Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms would not in any way, shape, or form would be it would any way, shape, or form support it, and it had no parallels to it. So all of those things, and the fact that we have teachers who have been teaching for years, police officers. I know there was a police officer there, and others that now can't serve because of their religious articles. And what is absolutely hypocrisy around this, and is also an irony, is the fact that Sikhs with their turbans and their beards fought in World War I and World War II for those freedoms that we are now today enjoying. And because of that choice, they're using that choice now to change the laws to discriminate. It's incredible. The irony is incredible. The freedom that we fought and gave our lives to is now being used against us by creating this law. So it's a thinly veiled, racist, prejudiced, discriminatory law that is meant to very much keep the racialized communities out of any type of service within those public institutions. It is very small-minded thinking that someone who wears a turban or a hijab or a yarmulke or a cross to work is somehow going to be biased in their decision-making process. If that's all it took, then we wouldn't have any bias, any kind of discrimination. Then what should follow is that there should never have been any person that's in the history of discrimination and prejudice that was without any kind of articles of faith that would have discriminated. And yet, the biggest example we have is Hitler.